Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Lorraine and my channel is Lo's Life and Lessons. I'm very happy to see you today. It's been a while since I've recorded a video, so I feel a little out of practice, but we're going to do this anyway. My channel is about aging, it's about lifestyle, it's about fragrance, makeup, skincare, all things interesting to women of all ages. And so I welcome you to my channel. Today we're going to talk about generosity, or a generous lifestyle, or qualities of generosity in a person. Generous. Now there's a word that sounds so round and fresh and cozy and soft. And what a wonderful quality in a person. Before we talk about generosity, I want to share with you my scent of the day, which is M. Micallef Le Parfum Cristal. This is a travel size bottle. I bought this as part of a kit several years ago now because I wasn't aware of this perfume house, and it's pretty expensive. The bottles are absolutely beautiful, but I wanted to try a few, and this one is really one of my favorites. This is a floral, fruity gourmand, and I'm just going to check my notes here. It was released in 2013. This perfume is pretty intense, and it lasts all day on me. It has notes of pink pepper, cinnamon, Bulgarian rose, Madagascar vanilla, toffee, amber, and musk. It has mixed reviews. Some people say it is the ideal rose fragrance. Others don't really feel that way about it. To me, it is sensual, it's fresh, it's lovely, and it dries down to a beautiful, soft fragrance. And like I say, it lasts all day on me. It's my SOTD. A generous person is a person who gives more than they have to. They are ready to give more than they are expected to. And often they give in very small little ways, and they give in ways that other people don't know about. They give in secret, just to do something nice and to feel good about themselves. Generous people are ready to give their money or their time or any of their resources, their encouragement, whatever, more than they are expected to. That is the hallmark of a generous person. Our society is very competitive, and a lot of people feel that if I win, then you have to lose, or if you win, I have to lose. In other words, it means that if somebody enjoys success, my opportunity shrinks. The generous person does not think this way at all. Resources in our world continue to grow, and as they grow, opportunities for everyone increase. Generous people know that giving gives them happiness and contentment, and they feel good about themselves. Generous people know that inherently because as human beings, we are designed to give to others. We weren't designed to be selfish. We were designed to share with each other and to help each other succeed. We get our happiness by loving and caring for other people. I have 8 points here about qualities of a generous person, or what it means to be a generous person, because it's so much more than money. First of all, to practice generosity with our time. Now, many years ago when I was working in an office setting, which I did for many years in my career, there was a manager in my area of work, and she was very difficult to approach for the simple reason that I always had the feeling that she was not listening to what I was saying. She wasn't hearing what I was saying, but more importantly, her body language was such that it just looked as if she could hardly wait to get away. She'd be standing there literally with one foot sort of ready to go and her shoulder just pulling away. It was really interesting. And you know, it wasn't just me, it was everybody that she was with. To me, that is not a sign of generosity. A generous person is open. A generous person hears what you have to say. A generous person listens more than they talk. A generous person says, "What can I do for you?" One of the things that we do run into, especially as we get older and people around us pass away from this life, we have many friends and acquaintances and neighbors who are left widowed or they've lost another family member and they're grieving. And very often we say, let me know if I can do anything for you. The generous person, I think, makes it easier for that person who's grieving and says, do you like chicken? Can I make you a chicken casserole? Or can I make you some baked goods for your reception? And they're very specific about what they're offering. The person who's grieving maybe isn't in a position or just doesn't have the energy or the interest to make decisions like this. So it's really helpful to be very specific and say, this is what I can do for you. Would you like that? Another quality is to be generous with your words. Give compliments. Say, I love your new hairdo, or I love your top, or I really like the way you gave that speech. Generous people say yes much more than they say no. Their default is yes. Yes, it can be done. Yes, you can do it. Yes, I'll help you. Yes, what do you need for me to help you? A generous person is encouraging. I remember once years and years ago, I was standing at a bus stop and a woman was standing there also, and she was just dressed to kill. She looked fantastic. I can't even remember what clothing she had on, but she really looked as if she was off the cover of Vogue magazine, and I just couldn't resist it. I told her so. I said, you look fantastic. You look as if you belong on the cover of Vogue magazine. Her face just lit up, and it was just a thrill to have that little chat with her. It made her happy, and it made me happy. A generous person shares their talents and gifts. If you are a good knitter, and I actually have some neighbors like this, they knit hats and mitts for children in shelters. They also knit little bonnets for newborns at the hospital. Generous people share their talent. I'm not a great cook, but I'm a pretty good baker. So if there's some kind of a potluck or some kind of a gathering, my talent is to bake the dessert. So I will offer to make the dessert because it's what I do best, and I feel good sharing that talent. Similarly, if you're on a committee and they're looking for an executive and you're good with money management, then you could volunteer to be the treasurer. Just share whatever you're good at. It's very satisfying to share with others the skills and talents that you have. A generous person shares their possessions. If you've read a good book, lend it to your friend and say, I really enjoyed this and I think that you would enjoy it as well. If you have a pool at your house or at your apartment building, invite friends over for a swim on a hot summer day. Recently, a friend lent me a bottle of perfume. She loves perfume as much as I do, and she lent me her bottle of perfume. She let me take it home for a week to use it. That was very generous of her. Of course, when we think of generosity, often we think of giving money. Many wealthy people give huge sums of money to various charities, and we certainly, as a society, we appreciate that. But all of us can give $1 to a homeless person. We can give $5. If there's a community disaster like a flood or a fire, and there's an opportunity to give online, most of us can afford to give $5 or $10. Every little bit helps. Don't ever minimize the amount of money that can be given to support these situations. Generous people are quick to show mercy and to forgive. Sometimes if we feel slighted or we feel insulted, it's not really meant to hurt us. Maybe that person has had a bad day. Maybe that person isn't feeling well that day. Maybe that person had a doctor's appointment the previous day with some not so good news. So we don't know what that person has been going through. Unless it's a repeated thing that goes on in the relationship, I think the generous person is more likely to sort of let it go and not take offense. A generous person doesn't have a default of being defensive. It's not attractive, and it certainly doesn't make us happy to be defensive and always be looking for people to be unkind to us, because in most cases, it's just not happy. Generous people look for opportunities to be kind. Buy a coffee for somebody when you're in the lineup at the coffee shop. Help carry heavy grocery bags to somebody's car. Hold the door open for somebody. A generous person is always looking for ways to help in big ways and in small ways. Finally, generous people embrace the reality that life is short. We only get one shot at this life on this earth. We want to put out as much kindness and thoughtfulness as we possibly can, it will come back to us. There is no doubt about it. We have a very short time to leave a permanent impact on this world, and each one of us can do that with all our small acts of kindness and thoughtfulness. These stay with people. I remember people being kind to me in such small ways throughout my whole life, and I don't forget that. And I don't forget the way it made me feel and how encouraging it was throughout my whole life. We all have the opportunity to do that and to cheerfully give our resources, monetary and otherwise, to accomplish it. So these are some qualities of a generous person. Fostering that quality of generosity is a worthwhile goal, and it will result in our own happiness and our own peace of mind throughout our lives. Tell me what you think a generous person will do, and some situations where you have experienced generosity or where you have been generous to other people. I would love to know. Thank you for joining me today. I love you all. Take care, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.